Welcome to Let's Talk. I'm your host, Woodrow Thompson, and we have an exciting show for you today. My guest today is none other than Pastor Kevin Cole, and he's the pastor of Abundant Life Gospel Center in Oshawa. Welcome to Let's Talk.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excited to be here.
Good. Now, just right off the top, you're youngest pastor in Koga.
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
I don't know. We'll see. I still have a lot to learn. You know what I mean? And great group of pastors that we have here, and loving the ministry and all that the Lord has for me here. So,
good.
Yeah.
You're also a PK.
Yes.
Your dad served that church for over 30 years.
Yes. He started his ministry in Ottawa, and moved to Oshawa 3 years after, and it's been an interesting role for me in that journey, kind of experiencing what it is to be in ministry with my dad, growing through the growing pains and stuff like that it involved.
Did you envision yourself entering the pastorate?
No. At an age, maybe in my tweens, I remember sitting in night service one Sunday night, and I said to myself, when I get older, I am not coming to church. I'm not going to church.
Wow.
At least not this one.
Right.
And but God has a sense of humor. The one that I wanted to walk away from, He's the one. He brings me to that church to pastor. He grows a love for ministry and for Him. So.
What did you envision yourself doing other than pastoral work?
I wanted to be a dentist.
A dentist?
A dentist, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what makes a lot of money, and you don't get your hands dirty like a doctor. So.
No money in pastoral work.
Yeah.
Dentist, you'll definitely make some money.
Yes, the Lord delivered me from that. So.
What was the transition like now that you had to give up that dream of being a dentist and coming full circle with being a pastor?
Well, it was interesting because at age 14 I had a dream that really set my life on path to serve the Lord. I had a dream that I wasn't going to make it in heaven, and that I woke up just when I hit the flames.
Really?
Yeah, and I looked at that as my second chance.
Okay.
And I got off the side of my bed. I got off my bed and went to the side of my bed and just prayed, Lord, I'm surrendering my life to you.
Wow.
Whatever it takes. And from that point on, I just walked with God in that journey. Not perfect, but still bouncing back and making a difference in whatever I can. And it was shortly after that my dad started me in youth ministry. It was when you had left, because you were youth pastor at church at the time.
That, yeah.
And it really was a journey where God slowly grew a love in me for ministry and for pastoring. Even when I finished my schooling and worked in my career job and stuff like that, it was something that I wanted to do more than any other job.
You're also part of the National Youth Ministry for Eastern Canada.
Yes.
So how do you think that youth work prepared you for pastoral work?
Definitely. Yeah. I always have a heart for youth, and it's one of our core values in our church. And I got to hear the voice of the youth more. One of the things growing up in church and growing up in youth ministry, when you're young, you're at the center of what youth want. As you grow older, you're moving away from that center.
Right.
And being in youth ministry also always kept me on the pulse as to what they are thinking. And even today, still involved with youth, they're still teaching me.
Was it your dad's desire that you become a pastor, do you think? Did he ever talk to you about that?
He encouraged me to do whatever I feel I wanted to do, and whatever I put my mind to do, I can do well in. And that's kind of how my parents grew me. Yeah.
Well, I asked that because, there's some pastors who, especially you are involved in youth ministry, they have you tapped. You're going to be the next pastor of this church.
Yes. Well,
that's very good that Pastor Cole didn't. He just encouraged you, just follow where
Yeah.
whatever path the Lord
Yeah.
would have you on.
Well, what kind of opened up the door for me to, because one of the challenges was for me to do this full time. Right? Like I
Right.
really loved it to the
Right.
point that I didn't want to do my secular job anymore. I'd actually wake up in the morning not wanting to go to work,
Really?
wanting to do ministry full time, but
Wow.
not seeing a door open
Right,
for
right.
that to happen. And it wasn't until 2008 the auto industry crashed. My
you
job,
worked in the auto
yeah,
industry,
yeah. I
right,
was in the laboratories for paint
Okay.
manufacturing for a
Right.
company, and worked there for 11 years. And
Right.
the auto industry crashed, and for Christmas I found out that our laboratory is closing,
Wow.
and we needed to, we're going to be getting severance packages and stuff like
Okay.
that. So that was my Christmas present there that
Wow.
year, 2008. And but even then, my dad wasn't ready.
Right, right.
When we talked, he was still thinking a few more years.
Okay.
He wanted to know what I was thinking, and I told him, sure, if that's something you want.
Well, hold that thought. We're
Yeah,
going to continue this conversation when we come back from this commercial.
Sounds
More
good.
with Pastor Kevin Cole when we return.
Filling my dad's shoes was very intimidating.
You don't wear the same size.
No. Exactly.
Wow.
When I think of my dad, the word that comes to me is strength.
Closed captions provided by
Gospel Connection, Church of God of Prophecy, Pinewood Production brings you the #1 gospel artist in the world, the multiple award-winning Travis Green. Also featuring Toronto's finest, the Campbell Sisters, Father Master, and from Ghana, Africa, Atta Buefo.
My God is good, yo. Hallelujah.
Here's the date, Sunday, August the 6th, 2017. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. The venue, the internationally acclaimed Global Kingdom Ministries, 1250 Markham Road in Scarborough.
Tickets will go very fast.
$35 in advance. 416-795-6343 or go to gospelconnection.ca. Travis Green, his first time in Toronto. Why would you miss it? Toronto, are you ready? The Church of God of Prophecy in Ontario presents One, the 55th National Convention and Conference, Friday, August the 4th to Sunday, August the 6th, 2017, at the world-renowned Mississauga Living Arts Center, 4141 Living Arts Drive in Mississauga, featuring local and international teachers and preachers. Bishop Adrian Varlock.
When your eyes meet the eyes of Jesus, if anything in you can break, it will break. Hallelujah. But it's not a breaking of destruction, it's a breaking of healing.
Minister Palmer Hutchinson, Cleveland, Tennessee, with a number of special sessions. Darren Hamilton, Reforming Congregational Worship. Life coach Alice Wiafe, How to Live as an Emotional Millionaire. And on Sunday evening, all roads lead to Global Kingdom Ministries, 1250 Markham Road, as we conclude with Travis Green, live in association with Gospel Connection. Get registered now. $75 for adults, $50 for young adults and seniors, and $35 for youth. $200 for a family of 4. And of course, all hosted by the administrative bishops, Bishop Woodrow Thompson and First Lady Pauline Thompson. Go to cogopconference.ca or call the number now, 905-625-1278. One body, one spirit, one hope, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God, one. Toronto, are you ready? The Church of God of Prophecy in Ontario presents the 55th National Convention and Conference, Friday, August the 4th to Sunday, August the 6th, 2017, at the world-renowned Mississauga Living Arts Center, 4141 Living Arts Drive in Mississauga, featuring local and international teachers and preachers. Bishop Adrian Varlock.
When your eyes meet the eyes of Jesus, if anything in you can break, it will break. Hallelujah. But it's not a breaking of destruction. It's a breaking of healing.
Minister Palmer Hutchinson, Cleveland, Tennessee, with a number of special sessions. Darren Hamilton, Reforming Congregational Worship. Life coach Alice Wiafe, How to Live as an Emotional Millionaire. And on Sunday evening, all roads lead to Global Kingdom Ministries, 1250 Markham Road, as we conclude with Travis Green, live in association with Gospel Connection. Get registered now. $75 for adults, $50 for young adults and seniors, and $35 for youth. $200 for a family of four. And of course, all hosted by the administrative bishop, Bishop Woodrow Thompson, and First Lady Pauline Thompson. Go to cogopconference.ca or call the number now, 905-625-1278. One body, one spirit, one hope, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God, one.
Welcome back to Let's Talk, and my guest today is Pastor Kevin Cole, and I enjoy the conversation we're having. You're telling us how God moved in your life and where you're at in your life. Dad was pastoring the church. He did that for many years, and then you were still pastoring when the auto industry crashed. And tell us more about that.
Yes, and my dad said to me, not sure about what the future holds, but if the overseer asks, I want to know if I'm interested, and I said sure,
Right.
And then we found out about our job, not working, coming the next year in March of 2009.
Right.
And so I had to figure out what I'm going to do for 2 years to provide for my family and whatnot. So it was a bit of a roller coaster ride for me, going through that experience and figuring out what God is doing.
Right.
And I tried to look at other jobs, other opportunities within the company. Everything closed down, which is so unusual because I normally have God's favor when it comes to jobs.
Right.
And I remember the last day going into my old job and picking up my pink slip at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
And that was it. 11 years is gone.
And you have a young family.
And I have a young family and closing a house, a new home.
You're closing on your house.
Closing a new home.
I didn't remember that.
That month.
Whoa.
Yeah, so a lot of things going on, but you're walking by faith, right? And it so happened that you and I had a meeting.
Right.
And I wasn't sure what it was about, if it was about youth, because I was involved in National Youth.
Right.
So 3 o'clock, I went to see you, and I don't know if you remember, but
I do.
The words you asked, I remember very clearly. He says, "How do you feel about full-time ministry?"
No, I don't remember asking. God was setting you up.
Yeah. And I told you, if you only know the day that I just had it now. And it was, ever since that day, the Lord has just been turning things around.
Wow.
And by August of that year, I was installed as the lead pastor of U Street, which is now Abundant Life Gospel Center. So.
No, your dad pastored that church for about 25 years, I think.
Yes.
What was it like filling those shoes? This was your first pastorate.
Yeah.
You're a youth minister, but this was your first pastorate. Dad has been doing this for 25 years. What was the first few years like?
Filling my dad's shoes was very intimidating.
You don't wear the same size.
No. Exactly.
Wow.
When I think of my dad, the word that comes to me is strength.
Yes.
And when I look at myself, I don't see strength. At least at that stage of the ministry, I'm still new, figuring things out. He's a guy that brings strength in the sense of security. You feel safe when he's around. and strength in the sense of endurance. He endured a lot of things. And so I always question myself, Lord, how am I going to do what my dad did? You know what I mean? But one of the things that encouraged me, the Lord shared with me, it says that the Lord orders the steps of the righteous. You know, and so we just have to walk one day at a time, one step at a time, walk with Him. But another thing that was going for me was I was doing my dream job. You know, I couldn't believe I was doing what I loved, what I was aiming for, what I was working for, actually fell into my lap. God just opened a door. When one closed, God opened the other door. And I was a little bit on honeymoon for the first year. You know what I mean? Just feeling amazing. You know what I mean? But that we were off a little bit quickly. Yeah, and that's where I started to really learn about myself and weaknesses that I never saw before. And the last 7 years, I think that's the biggest learning curve that I don't think I realized. If I'd have done it over again, I would have maybe spent a little bit more time figuring out my weaknesses. But at the same time, there's a scripture that says God's strength is made perfect in our weakness. And I've really experienced that, God bringing grace into my life and into the church to help us, you know, and in my new way of leadership and stuff like that. It was a great experience.
Now, growing up as a PK, you started your journey with the Lord from a very young age, I'm sure.
Yes.
What was that journey like? And not only was that journey like, how did that journey prepare you for now? You're now assuming this role, because many people assume that if you grew up in a pastor's home, you're great, you're wonderful. There's no learning curve. You're almost perfect. What was that like?
Well, for me, being a PK, my parents are amazing. My mom's amazing. My dad was amazing in terms of being great mentors in me in ministry. But one of the things that I didn't like so much was church folk, and how kids are treated.
Well, you're the PK.
Yeah.
You have to be perfect.
Exactly. And the peer pressure that comes with that, and for me, it wasn't a great experience. Actually, it's in that period that I later discovered, but didn't know at the time, that I struggled with insecurity. And low self-esteem, because of some things that happened, and so coming into ministry, I didn't realize I had those issues. I didn't realize there was a blind spot. You know, that was in making my leadership shaky at times. But Lord helped me through those situations to see what, you know, His strength is and how to help me to become a better leader. Well,
when we come back from the break, I'd like for you to tell us a little bit more about some practical things that you had to do to overcome that kind of insecurity, because there are many people who are watching us that may struggle with that. You would never look like you struggle with that. More with Pastor Kevin Cole on your return.
Sure.
Closed captions provided by
Toronto, are you ready? The Church of God of Prophecy in Ontario presents One, the 55th National Convention and Conference, Friday, August the 4th to Sunday, August the 6th, 2017, at the world-renowned Mississauga Living Arts Center, 4141 Living Arts Drive in Mississauga, featuring local and international teachers and preachers. Bishop Adrian Varlock.
When your eyes meet the eyes of Jesus, if anything in you can break, it will break. Hallelujah. But it's not a breaking of destruction, it's a breaking of healing.
Minister Palma Hutchinson, Cleveland, Tennessee, with a number of special sessions. Darren Hamilton, Reforming Congregational Worship. Life coach Alice Wiafe, How to Live as an Emotional Millionaire. And on Sunday evening, all roads lead to Global Kingdom Ministries, 1250 Markham Road, as we conclude with Travis Green, live in association with Gospel Connection. Get registered now. $75 for adults, $50 for young adults and seniors, and $35 for youth. $200 for a family of 4. And of course, all hosted by the Administrative Bishop, Bishop Woodrow Thompson, and First Lady Pauline Thompson. Go to cogopconference.ca or call the number now, 905-625-1278. One body, one spirit, one hope, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God, one. Gospel Connection, Church of God of Prophecy, Pinewood Production brings you the #1 gospel artist in the world, the multiple award-winning Travis Green. Also featuring Toronto's finest, the Campbell Sisters, Father Master, and from Ghana, Africa, Atta Buefo.
My God is good, yo. Hallelujah.
Here's the date, Sunday, August the 6th, 2017. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. The venue, the internationally acclaimed Global Kingdom Ministries, 1250 Markham Road in Scarborough.
Tickets will go very fast.
$35 in advance. 416-795-6343 or go to gospelconnection.ca. Travis Green, his first time in Toronto. Why would you miss it?
TV programs, convocations, conventions, graduations, YouTube commercials. Pinewood Films is a locally owned production company based in Toronto, and we're here to help you capture your event on video. It could be a Saturday or Sunday morning church service, a banquet, a business function, birthday party, even that special wedding day. Absolutely no project is too small or too large. We record and edit all of our footage professionally with high-quality HD and 4K cameras that can be used for TV broadcasting or just home viewing. The choice is all up to you. So, what are you waiting for? Call us right now at 647-933-8068, and there's no obligation. Let's talk about your ideas for your next event or project. The number is on the screen. We're waiting for your call.
Welcome back to Let's Talk. I'm your host, Woodrow Thompson. My guest is Pastor Kevin Cole from Abundant Life Gospel Center in Oshawa. Good to talk with you. And I'm learning some things about you, even though I've known you for a long time.
That's
now,
awesome.
just before the break, you mentioned wrestling with low self-esteem. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I was, just at a state in my younger years where I didn't realize I didn't love myself.
Right.
I didn't. When people criticized me, I would feel bad, like I sinned.
Right.
And I'd walk around great when people loved me, but then down in the gutter when people didn't like me. And I remember one time at a youth conference, one of the preacher that we had there said, "People don't have to like you; they have to love you."
Wow.
And for something, when that was said, something just broke in me, and I bawled, and I felt like God accepted me the way I was, and I should accept me the way I was.
Right.
And it was just the beginning of, realizing, wow, I need to do better, treat myself better.
Very good.
And love myself, and you can't really love people if you don't love yourself correctly.
Right.
So. And that was a journey that the Lord opened up for me.
Very good.
Yeah.
Now, in filling these shoes, you made some radical shifts in that church.
Yes.
You actually put on your own shoes and
Yes.
decided to go a different way.
Yes.
Erie Street Gospel Center changed its name, doing some radical things. Tell us more about that.
So we changed our name from Erie Street Gospel Center to Abundant Life Gospel Center.
Right.
We changed our motto for improving the quality of life to turning desert places into gardens. And part of the reason my dad was a person that beautified things.
Yes.
You know him when he was around that church building that we had, turned it around to be a beautiful place.
Right.
He did that with our homes, and one of the things he was known for in the community was his gardens. People actually drive by and take pictures of his gardener. He had a green thumb.
Right.
And as we were changing our identity, or tweaking, I should say,
Right.
that is what resonated with us and with me, is that beautifying ability
Right.
that Christ wants to do in our community.
Right.
And that's what made the difference. So, for example, we have 3 key developments that we have changed since I've been pastoring. One is the food bank ministry, which
Right.
started in 2010.
Right.
And we took a break for a little bit, and we restarted it again. And it's a great opportunity to reach the marginalized, the poor in our community, and just show the love of Christ.
Right.
And show the love of Christ by giving them their basic need. You
Right.
know what I mean? And also giving them the word, both
Right.
in spiritual and physical
Right.
food. And then we also started our Sunday services in the Cineplex.
In the Cineplex.
Yes, yes.
Now, you
yes.
had a building,
Yes,
but you decided to move to the Cineplex.
yes. yes.
What motivated that? What?
Well, a number of things. The number one thing was limited parking
Right.
in
right.
our area, and we were looking everywhere to find accommodations, and the money was
Right.
limited in doing that for what we wanted, but and people
Right.
to make those transitions. But the movie theater just seemed like a perfect fit for us, and it's in an affluent area in Oshawa, a growing area in
Right.
Oshawa, and so when you think about it, the movie theater is like the meeting place of
Yeah,
the city. It's
of
the
course.
only theater in the city.
Especially for millennials.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the key. We were able to reach
Wow.
a lot of the millennials, and so we have, just going to the theater, we have increased our volunteer base, especially with youth, by 180%.
What was the pushback like? Because you changed the dynamics
Yeah.
of that church.
So yeah, our church culture, very West Indian.
Right.
So where we used to teach against going to movies.
Yeah. Hey.
This is
you
like,
could be disfellowshipped in the early years.
yeah, but our people, as tough as it was for
Right.
them, they embraced it. There
Right.
were some that didn't,
Right.
and that's fine.
Right.
We respect that. But the majority of us pushed through, and we've done a full year now
Right.
doing this, and it's been a really good
Very
experience.
good.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting to hear, because it's
Yeah.
not so much about the building, as you
Yeah.
and I know.
Yeah.
It's about what you're doing in that
Right,
building.
right.
And it seems like that has created an atmosphere where you can
Right.
reach a lot of people
Yes.
in the community.
Yes.
So if someone was to visit the church in Oshawa,
Yeah.
I mean, they would see a different
Oh, yeah.
kind of church.
Different, yeah.
No dressing up in your tie and your
No,
suits.
just like this, jeans.
Just casual.
So we have a mixture of everything. We
Wow.
have people that come in suits. We have people that come in dresses. We have people that come in jeans. You come as you are. I mix it up. So sometimes I'll dress like this. Sometimes I'll come with my clergy outfit on. So
Right.
you never can predict what's
And the
going to
most
happen.
important thing is not about the building.
It's not about
It's
the
about the
building. It's
message.
about the message
Very
and
good.
the word and Christ and what He's
Right.
done for us. Yeah.
Well, Pastor Kevin Cole, thank you so much for being on Let's Talk.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you're doing in the city of Oshawa.
Mm-hmm.
And for a viewing audience, if you're ever in the city of Oshawa or you live in the city of Oshawa, there's a church home for you. God bless you. All the best as you continue to serve the Lord in that area.
Thank you.
Well, that's all the time we have on Let's Talk for today. Let's keep talking. We'll see you soon.